Yes, you're right. And the other guest also summarized very well the situation. So the problem now is to have a compromise. First of all, we need to reduce the social expenses, the public expenses. Probably we need to reduce them from, I think, 20 to 30 billion euro next year and to raise tax, but only raising some tax like super profits or very rich people, but just a little bit, maybe 5 to 10 billion to have this compromise. Then if we do this, probably the budget could be approved. But if we don't work on both aspects, the budget probably will be censored and one will be rejected another time. And if it's rejected another time, that means that the government will be overthrown, that there will be a new government in some months. It's a very
Sir,
political
yes, we're
instability.
discussing the third government in a year, or in less than a year. Dr. Morin, if we want to touch a point or nail it now, could you please, do you see or do you read, or your narrative is that the problem in France is taxes, or one of the main problems is the debt and taxes, like Dr. Boudin? And could you please comment?
I think the main problem above taxes, above expenses, the main problem is the political instability and the fact that President Macron and his government, they don't have a stable majority at the National Assembly. Then it's very difficult to have a budget approved. That's the main problem, political instability. The second problem is that it's an economic problem. The economic problem is that in the last years, we don't have
For governments.
uh, enough growth to pay all the expenses. If you have a good growth, 2-3%, most of the time you can pay and you can support all the expenses. You can reimburse the debt. And right now, we have a growth of around 0.51%. We don't have enough growth to pay the expenses. And then we have to cut. We have to cut. We have no choice. But at the same time, the left wing and the extreme right, they don't want they don't want too much pain, for the poor people and for the low-income people. Then they ask to raise some tax, and then we have to do this compromise. And the fact is that we are dependent on populist parties right now. That's the big problem because the populist party, they have the majority at the National Assembly.